I've just had today a good end to my day. I've had a right good natter with one at neighbours. And we both walked away, and then I was looking for my phone for ages. And as I were walking back to go in, I just caught a little boy looking down my path. I'd had a little girl look earlier as well, looking down my path, smiling at me. But this little lad were looking down my path, and I looked away, and then I thought, hold on a minute. I feel rude. I've not said hello. And I turned back, and his mum were there. And I took my headphones off, and she looked back, and little boy poked his head round the corner, and she says, "My son was just saying that he really, really likes your garden." Oh my God, that was so nice. And then she pulled out a little tulip, and she says, "We've got tulips. We've got a tulip each. Someone's picked them and left them on the floor, and we've picked them up, and he's got a tulip, and he likes your garden." And he was stood there with his little tulip with a big smile on his face. And I was like, "Do you want some flowers? Do you want to come pick some flowers?" And he went, "Yeah." And my snapdragons had just started to come out and just started flowering. And I was like, every child loves snapdragons because they've got little mouths that move, haven't they? And I was like, these are my first ones, but it don't matter. I'll give him some snapdragons. I said, "You have these snapdragons." He goes, "Yeah, I'll have some snapdragons." And then I gave him some of my honesty, my purple flowers. And then at that point, I could see Mum were a little bit nervous, a little bit shy. She said she was new to area. She's just moved in. And they've got little white flowers like what I've got. I said, "They're white bells and bluebells." She said they were already there when we got here. And she says he's very excited to have lots of flowers. So I just says to her, "Look, I've got disabilities. I'm not into doing hard work. All this stuff grows on its own. So look for things that grow native, that grow natural, that do their own thing, and you'll have all the flowers in the world." I wanted, in this day and age, it's really, really difficult to move somewhere new or have new people move into your area and be able to trust each other. It's true. Nowadays, it's really difficult to know if you're safe, if they're safe, are they good people, are they bad people? Nobody's good or bad. You shades are grey. But you know what I'm getting at, like, do I need to worry about this person? Are they nice? Are they not? So I made she was a young mum as well. So I made a point of just being nice to her. Didn't keep her long because obviously she's brand new. It's a bit unusual, to just walk by somebody's garden and the next minute they're letting your kid pick the flowers. My view is kids should have a proper garden, right? They don't need a patch of grass. They need a proper garden. They need to be picking bugs. They need to be picking flowers. They need to be digging, making mud pies, yeah? Collecting sticks and making snake families, right, with the sticks. And they need to be collecting the snails, right? That's what they should be doing. And that I saw a kid that was interested in flowers and appreciated a proper garden, and I weren't going to let him walk off without taking some flowers and just letting the mum know I'm an all right new neighbour. She's new to the area. I'm one of the all right ones. Hopefully they walk by more often and I get to see them. They were really nice. They were really nice. I love when kids walk by and they get dead excited. Even all my neighbours, all different ages, will walk by and have an ebb. All at dogs will stop and have a look. And they'll all be watching squirrels and what have you on my garden. And they're all telling me how good my edges look and I'm doing a good job. And people forget how to have a good hobby. People forget about how good wildlife is, because when you get older, you forget all these things. You know, you're preoccupied with worrying about life. You know what I mean? And so it's dead important that people see someone my age, because I'm in my 30s. It's dead important that they see someone that's fairly young, with their own ailments, still pottering around, doing stuff and making a fantastic garden and having a good time and seeing the progress. When people move around too much, they don't see the progress of something. Yeah. You know, when you are here constantly, walking by the same thing over and over again for years, then you go, hold on a sec, I can't believe that looks like that now. You have the memory of before and now. You know what I mean? That's dead important. When people go on holidays, yes, it's an experience. You're getting all these experiences, going to all these new places. But you go to them once and then that's it. And then, you know, you go somewhere else different next time. Whereas when you don't go on holiday and you just stay in your town year after year, you can clock the changes. Not all the changes are good. But in my case, with my garden, people are seeing the hard work that I've put in after 8 years. They knew my mama here before me and what it looked like then. You know, not everybody, but, you know, there's still neighbours from when I were a baby, you know. And they can see it and they love it. And then they see the squirrels and they see all the birds, and now they're starting to feed the birds on their garden and they're putting bird baths out and they're putting flowers in, and that's how it goes. And that's a good thing. You know, it's better than a patch of grass where you have to keep mowing the fucking patch of grass that does nothing. You know, I feel good today. I gave him some flowers to add to his tulips. I wish they'd have come a bit earlier because I looked really crap. I was tired. And I've been out all day. And I've been prepping for trees to be cut. And I'm tired. You know, there's only so much time in a day. I've got some god-awful tan lines from my gloves. But yeah, I feel good. The kids are walking by. They're loving it. They're happy. There's a story that comes to mind. It was about a giant, and he got a garden, and it was full of fruit trees and flowers. But he lived alone, and he had very, very high walls and a high gate. And he didn't like people. Didn't like people at all. And the children climbed in over the wall, if I remember rightly, and they broke in, and he got very upset. He got very upset that they broke into his garden. But then he heard the kids playing on the street, being upset and miserable. I hope I'm getting this story right. I'm trying to remember it from a long time ago. Basically, he lets the children back into his garden because he's lonely, and the children make him happy, and the children love his garden, and they get to play, and he gets to sit and watch everyone be happy and enjoy the space with him. And I think that's a nice story. Children should have proper places to play, not just patches of grass with metal playground frames. You know, they need a wood, they need a stream, they need a bridge, they need some logs, they need a magnifying glass and a net, and to look at mushrooms. And to climb a fucking tree, you know. Stop taking the woods away and the parks and the fields and they're taking everything away. And if me doing my garden spurs people to put more plants in the garden and feed their animals, and, you know, and there's young kids watching me potter, do my garden, inspires them, and then they grow up and they decide to do their garden, then I've won. Then I've won, because I would be carrying on Selena's legacy, May's legacy, you know, the women that inspired me when I was little. You know, my mum and my mum are, you know. If that one kid grows up and has a fantastic garden, then I've won. Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to log the little memory, because that's going to be a nice one to look back on and remember, I think. And hopefully, moving forward, the mum won't be as shy with me. I wonder which one it is that she's moved in, because there is one down the road, and it used to be May's old house before May passed away. Old family friend. I wonder if they've moved into that one, because that has lots of white bells. But I don't know. There's lots of houses around here that's got white bells, so I don't know. But hopefully, I've made a good impression, even if I did look like crap. And I've inspired a child or two. And I know I've already inspired some of my neighbours, because they've already been telling me. They're putting food out and they're putting water out. And in fact, one of the elderly ladies, she's told me, I put the water out, and then I look out and it's gone, and I've had to put water out again. And then by afternoon, it's gone again, and I've had to put it out again. And I said, see, now you know why I'm always on my garden. Because you have to keep it. Once you've sorted it, you can't never stop then. Because then you know that they're drinking it and they're having it. And if you don't put it out, then you feel bad. Because you've started it. You know. And they come and add it. And if they're coming and having it, well, I've got to keep doing it then. She says it like she's annoyed. She's not annoyed. She likes it. It gives her something to do. Gardens keep you sane. And happy. I told my neighbour that hedgehog had got knocked over on the road, and I'm so upset. And she burst out laughing. And initially I was a bit taken aback, like, why the fuck are you laughing? My hedgehog's dead. And she turned around and she goes, that's just like a fucking hedgehog, innit? They all fucking get knocked over on the road. It's just like every other fucking hedgehog. And you know, once she'd said that, it's true. It's true. They all just fucking get knocked over on the road. They do. They do. You know? It's no, is it? They do. They're not great when it comes to roads. I am still upset about that. I'm hoping he's gone tonight. I'm hoping Fox comes to take him. Because I don't want him there. It's making me feel bad. It's making me feel sad. So Fox comes tonight. He's been coming every night thereabouts, and I've been seeing him. I stood at my gate. I walked out by accident to put something in the bin, and he was just stood there. He's getting used to seeing me. He's seen me a couple of times, but he's not at the point of, you know, he's still wanting to stay far away, stay wild, and I respect that. You know, it's good to be cautious and wary of things you don't know, but also I want to touch him. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to shut up rambling. I'm going to go lie down because I'm absolutely knackered and I need to take some pain relief. I've got one more day before the tree man comes. And my mum's coming as well. She wants to see what's going on. And I've told some at Neighbours and all, this dude who's doing my trees, he's been to some at Neighbours and all, and they're a bit dubious. So I said I'll give some feedback. I hope they do a good job. I'm going to specifically ask, and they're going to think, he'll probably think I'm fucking nuts. He'll probably think I'm nuts, but I'm going to ask that they don't take the branch all the way to the trunk. I want them to leave about that much of the branch sticking out. And that is because the squirrels like to sit on them while they're eating. They'll find a little stubby bit like that and sit on it while they're eating. And you get some good photos. And also, if I want to put bird boxes up, that's perfect spot to put them, because then there's a landing spot for birds to get into the nests. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that or not. I think they might think I'm a bit... Surely they will. You know? Surely they will. He's looked at my tree on back as well, and he's gone, that could do with a bit of a tidy, just round edges. And I'm like, no. No, you're not. Like, I want to make trees safe and stuff, but I'm not bothered about prim and proper and tidy. I want a tree to look like a tree, you know? That's how the tree is meant to look. Leave it like that. It's fine. So I've told him he's not touching trees on back. He can have the ones up front. I'm going to shut up. I said I was going to shut up, didn't I? I'll shut up now.